Are you planning on buying a home in the near future? Then stay tuned because I have the top 6 things you should never do if you know you're going to be applying for a home loan. And it could even put the home buying to a halt. So realtors see this all the time, and what may be common sense to some is not always to others. So stay tuned because I'm going to share these tips with you next. Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Chandra Patterson. I'm a local realtor here in the Orlando area, and I wanted to take the time to share with you a few very important things that you really need to know if you're thinking about buying a home. So many of us have been there. We get so excited to buy our first home, or second, third, fourth. The excitement really never goes away. But we get pre-approved for the home loan, and you think the rest is history. I'm approved now. So you start thinking about new furniture and brand new shiny appliances. You know how we are. But before you get too far down that emotional path, let me share some key things to keep in mind once you apply for your mortgage until the day you close. The last one I'm going to mention today, nobody seems to think about or can even make sense of it. So make sure you don't miss that one. The first thing is, don't deposit large sums of cash. That's right. I actually just had this happen to me on the last closing, which caused the entire process to slow down, and they weren't able to move in on the day they planned. So, hang on to that chunk of money you just received for Christmas. See, the lenders need to be able to source your money, and it's not always easy to trace cash. Yes, they need to know where everything is coming from. So before you deposit any cash into your accounts, discuss the proper way to document the transactions with your loan officer or hand it to your ex to hang on to. Just kidding, but don't deposit it. Number 2, don't make any large purchases. Don't get excited and go buy new furniture and appliances for your new home because any large purchase is a red flag for lenders, and let me explain why. So people with new debt have higher debt-to-income ratios, which means the amount of debt you have is compared to your monthly income, and the higher ratios make it riskier to get a loan. And sadly, there's been times that borrowers are no longer qualified for that mortgage. So resist the temptation to make any large purchases before you close. I know you were pre-approved for that home, but if you make any large purchases before closing, it will impact your loan to debt ratio. And who knows, that $5,000 refrigerator that you had to have so you could draw pictures on may be enough to stop everything. I know we get excited and we want the new furniture and new appliances now, but just remember, patience is a virtue. Don't go buy it. All right, then we have number 3. Don't cosign loans for anyone. When you cosign for a loan, you're making yourself accountable for that loan's payments. And with that comes higher debt-to-income ratio as well. Even if you promise you won't be the ones making the payments, the lender will have to count those payments against you. So tell your teenagers they have to wait and remind them patience is a virtue. I have teenagers, so I know. And the 4th thing is don't switch bank accounts. The lenders need to be able to source and track your assets, which is much easier when there's consistency with your accounts. So before you start shuffling money around, speak with your loan officer, and if it's possible, wait till closing to do that. Number 5, don't apply for new credit. It doesn't matter whether it's a new credit card or a new car. When they run your credit report, it's ran on multiple financial channels such as mortgage, credit card, auto, etc. So it'll have an impact on your FICO score. And of course, the lower your credit scores, the higher your interest rate. And sometimes this can impact whether you can even get a loan at all. And before we move into the last one, I want to mention, if you find this information helpful, please give it a thumbs up so others can find this information as well. It truly does help, and I appreciate you for that. So this takes us to the final one, and this one may seem confusing. It's the one I had the most trouble wrapping my brain around. Number 6, don't close any accounts. Once I even knew I was going to be buying a home in the near future, I closed out the credit cards that I wasn't using. So I'm thinking that having less available credit makes it less risky, and therefore I'd be more likely to be approved. But this was not true. Your credit score depends a lot on how long you've been using money and how good you've been making payments. So if you leave it open, they could see that you're responsible if you're having a $5,000 limit, but you've already been using that and it's been open for years. It actually does help. It's not just about if you pay on time, but it's also about how much money you use compared to how much you could use and how long you've been responsible doing this. So if you have a credit card with a zero balance but a $5,000 credit limit, then that shows them I'm not careless and utilizing every bit of credit given to me to stock up on shoes, clothes, cars, or whatever. So just keep it open, because closing accounts has a negative impact on both of those parts of your score, how long you've had it and how much of it you use. So let's wrap this up in a nutshell. You must discuss any changes with your lender if you want the transaction to go smoothly. Nobody likes surprises. Well, in this case, we don't, and you won't either. So once we set you up with a lender, you need to be upfront about any changes that occur or any changes you're expected to occur. So this way, any blips in income, assets, or credit can be reviewed and handled in a way that ensures your home loan could still be approved. Just remember that being pre-approved doesn't mean you have the home. If your job or employment status has changed recently, share that with your lender as well. So make sure you discuss your intentions with your loan officer before you do anything financially. Communicate with your loan officer just like you would your best friend. They are definitely on your side, but they can only do so much. We all want your home purchase to go as smoothly as possible. So remember, before you make any large purchases, move your money around, or make major life changes, be sure to tell your lender, because they are qualified to explain how your financial decisions may impact your home loan. Before you go, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to learn everything there is to learn about living in the Central Florida area. I'd also love to be your realtor of choice, so feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. My information is on the screen and in the description below. I'd love to help you make a smooth move to Orlando. Until next time, take care.